All right, we are live, Nick.
How you doing, Jeff?
Good. Great weather today for once.
Yeah, nice out there.
Thought it was the end of April out there today.
It was beautiful. So I thought we would start off by kind of talking a little bit about what happened on the girls' side of things, because we're going to have Onondaga Community College head coach Kelly Grinnell-Sight joining us in about 10 minutes or so. So on the AA side of things, so FM beat West Jenny by 3 to move on to face CNS coming up. Liverpool's facing Utica Proctor, and Henniger beats CBA to move on to match up with Baldwinsville, and then we have RFA and Syracuse West. So, any surprises for you there? It seems like I think the FM West Jenny game was close, and we thought it would be. It was an 8-9 matchup.
I think for AA, we predicted everything that did happen. I think.
Yeah.
There wasn't nothing upsetting in AA at all.
Yep. So I expect CNS to beat FM. I think I predicted Liverpool would beat Utica Proctor. How about you in that game?
Yeah, I'm with him too.
Yeah.
Utica Proctor, I think, got rolling in the middle of the season. They started out bad too, I believe.
Yeah. So then we got Beeville Henniger. You think Henniger's got any chance against Baldwinsville there?
I went to that game, the first one at Beeville, when Taya just scored her 1,000-point, but I believe it was a 30-point game by Beeville. Beeville's tough. Beeville's real tough. They got somebody at every position. They got a big and a forward, and they got 2 forwards that score.
I did run into the Henniger coach after the CBA game, and he said, he was optimistic. He said, you know what, we're going to take our chances. We think we can match with them, play a little better this time around. So who knows? I still got Beeville winning that game, but hopefully Henniger can put up a good showing. And then we got RFA and Syracuse West, and I think we both agree RFA is going to move on there, right?
Yeah, we're good on that one. I think we agreed on everything with the AA. I'm just looking at the bracket because I typed it out. I don't think I sent it to you, but yeah, we everything for AA. Our picks are good so far.
Yeah, so in A, we got Camden moving on. They were the favorite. It was an 8-9 matchup. They moved on. They're playing Auburn in the next round. Fulton was a 4 against a 13, and they won. So they move on to play against JD, who beat Oswego. And then we have New Hartford beating Watertown to face Indian River next. And then Cortland beats Central Square, and they are going to face Bishop Ludden. So no surprises there. All the favorites won the first round.
Yeah, we agreed on all that too, actually.
Yeah. Let's see. On the girls B division.
Here's where things start going downhill for us.
Yeah, Jordan Elbridge was a favorite, so they moved on. They beat Clinton, so they got Little Falls. And then Skinny Atlas beat APW, which we expected.
Yeah.
Mexico beat Phoenix, which we also expected. Bishop Grimes beat SAS. That game was closer than we thought, but they did beat SAS to move on to play Homer. And then Chittenango beat Lowville, which we expected. But the first big upset was Central Valley Academy as a 23 seed beating a 10 seed Holland Patton.
That was a low-scoring game, too. It was 34-28.
Yeah. So Central Valley Academy was really like the first big upset on the girls' side of things. And then South Jeff beat VVS like we thought they would, and Casnovia beat Canastota like we thought they would. And then you move on to the second round, and Little Falls beats JE, which we thought they would. Hannibal beats Skinny Atlas. So that's I think
that was surprising. It was 43-36. They won that too.
Yeah, so Hannibal's an 8 seed, Skinny Ellison 9, so it sounds about right. West Hill beat Mexico, which we thought would happen. Bishop Grimes beat Homer in a big game. That was, I
Was
think
it
you
double
went Homer
overtime?
that way.
I know it was
Yeah.
overtime. It might have been double overtime. I think Coach Koulis
Yeah.
posted.
Yeah, so that was a really good game, but Bishop Grimes moved on. And then General Brown beat Chittenango, and Oneida put the upset dreams of Central Valley Academy to an end. And then I just, I guess I got caught up in how good South Jeff played against CNS, and I was like, wow, if they can play that close of a game against CNS, I thought maybe they were going to be hot going through the sectionals, but Marcellus, man, they've been steady all year long. McLachlan had a good game for them. I think she had 20. So Marcellus ended up beating Jackie Pittick and South Jefferson. And congratulations to Jackie Pittick. Her high school career is over, and she ends her high school career as the all-time Section 3 leading scorer, both boys and girls. So congratulations to Jackie Pittick.
2,581 or somewhere around there, I believe it was.
Yeah. She scored more than Bernard Blunt. I don't know if you remember Bernard. He's way before your time, but I remember.
JD, though.
Yeah.
That score was 59-47 too.
Yeah. I just thought South Jeff would play him a little tougher, but they didn't. So Marcellus moves on, and then Utica Notre Dame beat Kaz. So now we got Little Falls matching up with Hannibal.
1 versus 8.
Yeah, and I got Little Falls. I think I got Little Falls there. And then we got West Hill and Bishop Grimes. That's going to be a good game.
Yeah, it is. I got a game tomorrow in the Dome. I don't know if I told you or not. It's our last game of the season, so I got.
Oh yeah, you did tell me they let you play in the Dome. Your last, okay, yeah. Yeah, I'll be up at OCC myself. So we have
Friday.
So
we're gonna meet up on Friday.
Yeah, West Hill Bishop Grimes is going to be a barn burner there. Then you got General Brown and Oneida and Marcellus and Utica Notre Dame. So it's going to be interesting to see. I don't know. I still think it's going to come down to West Hill and General Brown, but we'll see how it pans out. Bishop Grimes could have something to say about that, and Little Falls as well.
You don't got no faith in Dady and West Hill?
I do, but I'm just saying. I think Bishop Grimes is going to give them all they can handle, and I do expect West Hill to win the game, and I do expect Catherine to score her 20, 22, 24 points. But it's going to be it's going to be a test. I think
I haven't seen them in Little Falls. I got to look that up and check them out.
Yeah, Little Falls, they're good. And then you got if you look at Girls C, so a little bit of an upset. Deville beat Beaver River. They were 17-16. They moved on to play Waterville. You got Sandy Creek and what is that? Frankfort Schuyler. Tully beat Adirondack. Cato Meridian beat
Saquon Valley.
Yeah, Saquon Valley. And then you had Port Byron winning against Fabius Pompey. But then you got Waterville moving on, Frankfort Schuyler moving on. A little bit of an upset. A 9 beats an 8. They beat Sandy Creek. Yep. I think you might have called that one.
Yeah, it was 50-47. The score of that game was, so it was close too.
Yeah, didn't you pick them to move on there?
I got where's he at? Where are we at?
I thought you had Frankfort Schuyler in that one. But then you got Wheatsport. Wheatsport beat Tully. Mm-hmm. Lafayette beat Westmoreland. Thousand Islands beat Cato Meridian. Cooperstown beat Onondaga. I thought maybe Onondaga would give them a better game, but Cooperstown moved on.
Yeah, that's
and then West Canada Valley beat Port Byron, and Mount Markham beat Herkimer. So it's going to be interesting there. I still think Waterville's got to be the favorite in this division, but Thousand Islands is going to have something to say about that, and West Canada Valley may have something to say about that as well. I think whoever wins that Thousand Island West Canada Valley game is going to give Waterville a good championship game.
Kelly's in, so you want to stop on C, and then we'll go over D after?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Let's bring Kelly on.
Hey guys.
What's up, girl?
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Welcome, Onondaga Community College women's head coach Kelly Grinnell Sight to Hoop Talk in the CNY. Hoop Talk in the CNY on the 315. And I want to first start right off with congratulations for being named the coach of the year in your first season in the
Thank
Mid-State
you.
Athletic Conference. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was
Oh,
a,
that's
it
what's
was a
up.
good acknowledgement.
Yeah. Yeah. So I want to ask you, Kelly, I've known you for a while now. You've paid your dues. You've been an assistant coach. You've played at the junior college level, the Division III level. You've scored over 1,000 points in high school at Auburn High School. So you've had a great career yourself. Have paid your dues as a coach. But in a lot of cases, when there's a coaching change, there's a situation where maybe things have gone down a little bit and they're looking to make a change and they bring you in. That wasn't the case with Onondaga Community College. I mean, Mike Wheeler won a lot of games at Onondaga Community College. You were there for a lot of them. He had the program at a very high level. You lose the year last year to COVID, and now you're picking up where he left off. I want to ask you, how has things actually turned out from what you thought it was going to be before the season started?
Well, that's a good question. So I had a lot to do with the recruits for this year, being the assistant coach. I knew no one would return from the previous year because they're now juniors in college. And I have a lot of kids on the team right now who I actually coach through the AAU system with Syracuse Nets. So I knew coming in, we'd be talented. I didn't know where the rest of the region was going to be, the conference was going to be. But I knew the kids coming in, I had met them previously. So that was good. And I think they were comfortable knowing that a coaching staff member was taking over the program as opposed to a brand new face to the school. So I think that really helped. But yeah, I didn't have these as high of expectations, but here we are, and I couldn't be happier.
Yeah, I mean, 21-2, 14-0 in conference play, 19 straight. You guys have won.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Macy Diorio gets Player of the Year in the Mid-State Athletic Conference. Hannah Duran gets All Conference. Most of your team, actually, I looked at your roster. I mean, I do your games, but when you look at your roster, you got Central Square, West Genesee, SAS, FM, Elmira, ESM, Waterloo, Marcellus, Liverpool, Chittenango. So all local girls.
This is our most local team we've ever had. The most local team.
Yeah, and you guys have been killing it. I mean, just take me through. I mean, I know you were assistant coach. I mean, you've been coaching AAU, so you got some head coaching experience there. But you've been an assistant coach. You paid your dues, but it's a lot different from sitting on the bench in the second seat than standing up and actually calling the plays and talking to the refs and doing things like that. What's been the biggest challenge for you?
So it's hard to go from an assistant to a head coach. I still find myself doing assistant coach duties, and my two assistant coaches get mad at me all the time. They say, you're the head coach, you don't have to do this. And it's like, we wear so many hats. Like, I don't care that I'm the head coach. I'm still going to do, what I feel like it's necessary for us to be successful. But yeah, I have two great assistant coaches who also played here. So just with that alone, I played here, they played here. We're really keeping the same style of play that Mike Wheeler had. We're not changing like a darn thing. Why fix something that's not broken, right? So we're just trying to continue the success of the program and tradition of winning here. And having three coaches who played here and paved the way for these players, I think is just fantastic. And it really helps contribute to our success.
Yeah, Samantha Roberts and Amber Meggs, your assistant coaches, both played at OCC and played very well, had very good careers there. And I think you're right about that. It really helps that you guys are all on the same page because you've all played that system. You've all, so I think that helps a lot as well with the continuity.
Yeah.
Jeff, what do you got for Kelly?
First of all, congratulations. I did not
Thank you,
realize
Jeff.
you guys are balling. Nick had a joke earlier. He said something smart about Auburn, but then I told him.
Oh, I
Auburn.
hear it all the time. Cerrone tells it to me all the time. I just,
So I'm gonna go back to my days with your dad. When did you? I know you. Your dad was a coach growing up, so you always were by his side. When did you? When did you want to become a coach, or would you say you had a passion for coaching?
Well, at first I didn't really like that he was my coach. And I also had a sister on the team with me as well. If we argued at practice or, during a game, we'd take it home. It was strange. But then by my sophomore year, I really, really loved it. That's around the time where I really started loving basketball a lot. And we would just talk about basketball all the time, like at the dinner table. And it was basketball, even if it wasn't basketball season. So I really do think that he is a big reason why I'm a coach now. He comes to all my games now. I call him after almost every practice, almost after every game. But just when I was going through college as well, like I'd have all my college coaches tell me, like, you have a very good IQ, very high IQ, you're a coach's daughter. And it's kind of natural. As weird as that sounds.
Nick, she comes from a whole family of ballers, if you didn't know.
Yeah.
From the older brother to the sisters.
My sisters went to Cuga, so I don't know.
What year was how many years were you assistant for?
I was an assistant, if you count the COVID year, 8 years, but 7 on the sidelines.
Okay. And then so Nick talked about you have all local girls this year. Where would you
all local? The farthest is Elmira, and then the second farthest is Waterloo. Gotcha. But we played teams like North Country. They have kids from Florida and Alabama and Ohio and crazy.
Like famous for that.
Yeah, but community is in our name. I'm at a community college, and I truly believe that we're located in such a great area to recruit. Yeah. Like, why leave the Syracuse area when you have such great local talent here? And I hear that a lot from my fellow coaches in the conference and region as well. They're like, it's not fair where we're located. And we have a lot to choose from. Section 3, all the classes, like, Amber Meggs, she was like class D, I think, is Osceola Valley. And she was great. I don't like when, a lot of people were like, oh, that's class AA compared to D. Like, you can still get great talent from a lot of these classes in Section 3. So I think having a very local team just helps us. And obviously it shows if, people are pointing it out to us. So it's been cool.
Question. In your 8 years, would you say because I was at Nottingham for 5 years, so I seen most of all the West Jenny girls. I didn't see Baker from Onondaga, but I used to get stuff sent on her all the time. Where would you say the most competitive girls are coming from in your last 5? Like you say, the last 5 years?
Definitely the Liverpools, the CNSs, and West Gen. Yeah. But you know what? It's Onondaga, Macy Diordio, and Avi Baker. Is that class B? I don't know my classes in high schools anymore.
Like a C, but
yeah. But all these kids play AAU now, so it's like AAU doesn't go by classes; it goes by talent and whatever. So when we get an out of county kid, sometimes it doesn't work out. Whether they want to go back home second semester, they're homesick, they're just not meshing well, because all these kids come in from Section 3 schools and they know of each other, and I think that helps them mesh here as well. They haven't played together in high school, but maybe they played together in the Aau Circuit or whatnot. So we've gotten contributions from a lot of schools around the city, around the area.
Yeah. Do you still do the Nets? The Nets still the girls AAU, or did they go with the Royals too? Or is the Nets still around?
The Nets is still around, I believe.
Gotcha.
I'm not doing anymore. I have no time.
Yeah, one of my favorite players on the team is Cassidy Kelly, and she's from Chittenango. And I just like the way, she's just one of those girls, like there's nothing fancy about her, but she's always in the right place at the right time. she's one of those players that you would say has a nose for the ball. I mean, she takes her time. She doesn't get rushed. I mean, you you got a lot of great players on your team, but I really love, it's been fun for me to be the PA announcer for the team this year, because you guys it's a really fun team to watch.
Yeah. And, like when we're talking about all conference team, and the all region team will probably be out in the next coming days, like my starting 5 and first couple off the bench are all able to be on that. Like Avi was left off of it. Cassidy was left off of it. Janae Holmes was left off of it. And what, the voters don't see is that without Avi Baker, 8 assists a game, 5 steals a game, we're not 21-2. And I try to tell these kids that too,
Right.
When I'm telling them who made all conference. Macy made player of the year. Macy wouldn't be player of the year without Avi Baker, without Cassidy Kelly rebounding to Avi Baker to give the ball to Macy. So it's like, without one, we're not 21-2. So if it was up to me, a lot of my kids would have been on that all conference team, but that's just not the way it works. And but yeah, Cassidy Kelly is just she rolled her ankle last game, and she's kind of 50-50 right now, but even her 50-50, I'll take her any day of the week. I mean, she's just a pure athlete. So
yeah, I wish we had her for another year, but like you were saying, like even without the kids buying in, right, to what you and Samantha and Amber are telling them, you're not coach of the year, you guys aren't 21-2. None of that stuff happens if the players don't buy in. And credit to you guys to, for getting them to buy in and getting them to see that, hey, we have your best interest in mind, and we need to do this together. Yeah. So I got to ask you, in years past, being as assistant coach, you had to do a lot of recruiting and all those things. Now you're the head coach, and you need Samantha and Amber and other people to do some of that for you. How much have you been able to pay attention to Section 3, what's going on with the girls here?
So all season long, we were in a high school gym almost every night of the week. And like I was talking about before, we're staying local. This year we're local. Next year I want to be local. So we hit up a lot of Section 3 games. Sectional wise, because we're in the postseason as well, we haven't been out to any sectional games. But, I'm watching closely. We still got some prospects that might be coming that we're, keeping an eye on. And hopefully, we host a lot of the Section 3 games this upcoming weekend. So that's when we really sit our, butts out in the arena and watch all day long. And then we'll hopefully play at 6:00 that night too. But it'll just be a weekend full of us watching high school games.
Yeah, and I don't know if you would agree, Kelly, but my take on the junior college route today is a little different. Like it used to be back in the days, you went to junior college if your grades weren't good enough, right? I mean, if your grades were good enough, you went to a 4-year school. If your grades weren't good enough, you went to junior college. But that's not the case anymore. With the cost of tuition going up at colleges and universities across the country, the junior college route is a very very sound route to for. You're getting kids now, not just kids you're getting kids with very good grades that are still choosing to make OCC their choice because they could have 2 years there, a lot less price, and then still move on to where they want to go. Do you agree?
Oh, yeah. So Hannah Dran, number 20, she comes from Marcellus. She's an honor student. 4.0 last semester. She probably get a 4.0 this semester. And, she probably belongs at academically at an Ivy League school. But, it's just the price of tuition and she wants to play. We talk about how, female athletes, very, very small percentage goes professional, less than 1% will go to the WNBA. So why not go to a 2-year school where classically 2-year schools, you'll get playing time immediately compared to a 4-year school. You have sophomores, juniors, and seniors ahead of you. So I think not only tuition and academics, but just playing time. Do you want to go somewhere and play immediately? Or do you want to go somewhere and maybe play a few minutes here and there? But here I play an 11-man rotation, 12-man rotation. If a couple of my post players aren't contributing, I'm going to go to somebody else. And if they're going to contribute, they're going to stay out there. And I think at a 4-year school, you don't really see that.
Not nowadays, especially with COVID.
Yeah. What kind of player would you say? Yeah. What kind of player would you say that you bring up to Onondaga?
Sorry about that. You cut out.
No. What type of player do you guys look for to fit your system at Onondaga?
Athletic. When we're out there recruiting, we're looking for kids who can press, kids who can get up and down the floor. I talk to our team about it all the time. 90% of our scoring probably comes from transition. If a team gets us in a half court set, slows the game down, that's when we can be in trouble sometimes. But besides that, if I go and watch a kid and I see that they're, hustling, being a good teammate on the bench, just being a good leader out there, that's who I want on the team. And, in this day and age when social media, like you can just find out a lot about kids and every game is live streamed. And, and that's what we want here. We want good people. We want good teammates. This year, these kids are the best, honestly. Like we're a family, like from day one. They love each other. They care about one another. They could care less who scores, who gets the points. If Macy has to drop in a few minutes here and there to let Janae shine or Hannah shine, it doesn't matter because we're winning. So getting kids like that to come in here would really just keep the mesh going and keep us being successful.
Yeah, well, 21-2, like I said, 19 straight. You got your regional tournament this weekend. You guys draw Hudson Valley Community College at 5 p.m. You beat them earlier in the year by quite a bit. What do you expect this time around?
Well, I watched their game on Saturday. I tell the girls that's the scariest part of coaching 17 and 18-year-olds is that, we already won once by 35 points. How do you get them up for this game without getting them to just overlook it? Right. So, you just got to talk to them about, it's a bigger stage. It's the postseason. If, you lose, you go home. And these kids are all in their first year because of COVID. They're all freshmen, despite what their academic status is. So they don't know what this stage is like. And having me, Amber, and Sam on the staff, we're trying to tell them, if you do well, we win, we cut down the nets, we go to nationals. But they just don't understand that because they've never been here. In Section 3, they've been to their sectionals, and my West Jenny kids have been to the state championship, but it's different at the college level. So I hope tomorrow, we can have a similar game where, we can get out and run and get a comfortable lead. But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Who were the two losses to this year?
The first loss was Bryant and Stratton out of Syracuse. And then we lost to Sullivan County, which is Division II. JUCO, yeah. I wish we could play those games again, but I truly believe that those two losses helped us.
Bet they did.
So, Kelly, before we let you go, I want to give you an opportunity. I know you guys are trying to raise money for the basketball program. One thing that people may not realize at the junior college level is you don't have all these things given to you. You actually have to, you have to raise your own money. You do your own stuff. So if someone who is listening right now or may watch later on, where can they go if they want to support and contribute to the Onondaga women's basketball program?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for bringing this up. It's all over our social media. It's just a link. It's basically like a GoFundMe page, but it's actually a company that sponsors the National Junior Athletic Association. So it's pretty cool. And it's just a quick, easy donation. Just type in how much money you want to donate to the program, and it helps these kids get, nice apparel, like the Nike apparel. We're trying to get some other things here, like the shooting gun. And and just like better meals on the road. We had our freshmen come in this year and they're like, wait a second, we have to fundraise. This is college. And it's like, this isn't Division I NCAA level, like you gotta,
right.
We want to make this experience like it is. But without the money, we can't do that. So, in being our local team that we have, it's very easy that we can send out. So kids send out emails to family members, but we also have a link on our Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook that you can just click, and you can do it all online, or you can send in a check.
Okay. Well, great. Good luck in your tournament game tomorrow night. I will see you there. One thing we do have in common with both Onondaga Community College coaches, we got Mr. Cerrone coming up next, is you're both Brockport grads.
Oh, yeah. Have fun with him.
Yeah. Yeah. And just so you know, Jeff, I don't know if it's still the case, but when she graduated Auburn, she was the number 3 scorer all time as far as the girls' side goes. I don't know. Do you still hold that distinction?
I don't think so. I think Annie is, I think, number 2 now.
I think it's Leah. Well, is it Annie, Lee Aziz, and then you?
It was Sandy, Harding, me, and then Lee Aziz. But then I think Annie bumped up above me. But then Steph Guerra was up there too. And now Leah Middleton is going to bump us all out. So good for them. I mean, records need to be broken. She's a good player. She's a monster.
Yeah, we've had Leah on the show. She's a great girl and a great player.
Great family.
Well, Kelly, Grinnell's site, say hello to Brandon for us. Thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule to be on CNY Hoop Talking at 315. Good luck tomorrow night and in the rest of the regional tournament.
Thanks for having me, guys. Thanks, you.
Bro. Good seeing you.
All right. Take care.
Coach Erickson.
Look at this handsome face we got right here, huh?
So you guys are dragging the bottom of the barrel if you're thinking this is handsome.
Eric Cerrone, head coach of Onondaga Community College men's basketball program. Thank you for joining us on CNY Hoop Talking at 315.
Thanks for having me, guys.
All right. So first off, we have to do the same thing we did with Kelly and say congratulations on being named the Mid-State Athletic Conference Coach of the Year.
Well, thanks. It's I'm not a big guy on the Coach of the Year stuff or anything like that. When you have good players and good teams, good things happen. So all the credit goes to those guys.
All right. Well, this year's been a great year. 23 and 2, 12 and 1 in the conference. You've won 8 straight. Tell us about this year's team.
It was a difficult situation putting the team together coming off COVID last year. I mean, at our level, everything was canceled. We didn't practice. Couldn't get in the building, couldn't get in the gym. It was like, just completely nothing last year. So I refer to it as last year, but it was really the year before that. In 1920, we had a great team, and we should have had, I think, 9 of our top 10 guys back. But with the year being canceled to COVID, a lot of guys moved on to other things. So we only got 2 of those guys back. Ja'Kai Lucas and Latisse Fiazon took the year off of school in the middle of COVID. And obviously we got the right 2 guys back because they were great as freshmen, and they've been even better now as sophomores with the year off in between. But trying to put together a team, recruiting wise and who you were going to get in the middle of COVID was a disaster. So we worked at it, but we got lucky, and some things fell together correctly. And right from day one, we've had unbelievably great chemistry. Guys have fit into their roles and believed in their roles, and it's been a very easy group to coach as far as just everybody pulling for each other, believing in each other. We've had great chemistry, and I think that's really carried us through the season. So a lot of years going into the year, you think, we're going to be good, or we need to do this, that, or whatever. More than any other year probably in my career, I was, walked into the season like, I don't know if we're going to be good or bad, or how this is going to work out coming out of COVID. And credit to the guys. They really have put things together, and it's been a great team to be around.
Yeah, and let's mention Latif Faison, named Player of the Year in the conference. With Ty Lucas, all conference. How was the year off for you? Did you look at it like was it a good week for you? Or were you nervous? How did you treat the year off for yourself?
It was just weird. I can't really have a better description or, have a lot of smart things to say. It was just really weird. I'll be honest. I didn't watch college basketball at all. I couldn't bring myself to do it. And I'm so usually engrossed in our team, whether it was all my years at Henniger or now at OCC, that I'm just so into my team and what we have to do to get better throughout the season that it was almost like basketball didn't exist for a year. And for a little while, I was like, well, maybe I don't miss it. Maybe it's not, maybe just, kind of locked in your house, and it was really odd. But then once we got back going and I got the juices flowing again, I realized how much I did miss it. And I think that's kind of the case with our whole team. At our level, with the year off, or even the kids that played as seniors in high school, the year was so just not like a normal year. I think once we got into the flow of practices and games, the guys really appreciate it. So I think that's kind of helped our excitement level, and just helped us appreciate what we have the year off. But for me personally, the year off was just weird. It was just really bad.
Confusing.
Exactly. Confusing. It was a great way to put it.
You're a local.
So I'm gonna.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, Jeff.
Now, being from Henniger and being a local area, what would you say the most talented players that came from the last 5 years? What area?
Jeff, you were breaking up. I didn't get all of that.
What area would you say the most talented players came from the last 5 years?
It's that's hard to say. Albany's had some really good guys. We've got some good kids from Albany. Rochester been excellent. We've tried to really recruit Rochester, but there's been years that Section 3's been great. We concentrate our recruiting on upstate New York. We have got a few kids out of the city, but mostly we focus on the upstate, and it kind of rotates between the areas. So I can't really point to one being better than the other. I think that run Section 3 had with Buddy and Samir and that whole group was pretty good. I mean, that run, a lot of the kids maybe left for prep school, but there was a little stretch. Section 3 was unbelievable.
So Eric, I'm gonna embarrass you for a minute, okay?
Here we go.
No, it's good. 14 years. You were the Henniger head coach, right? Winning percentage of 767. 5 Section 3 AA championships. 7 league titles. You go to OCC. In your first year, you post the highest percentage in school history. At 848, going 28-5 with pretty much all local guys. What would you say is secret for you? Like, what's led to your success? You had so much success as a coach. And I know the players have a lot to do with that, obviously, and good coaches beside you. But what is it that you bring to the table as a coach that's success?
I think I had great teachers, and I had a great mentor in Joe Mazzella, and I just tried to do things half as good as he did. And with taking the Henniger job, that was a big deal to me. And then going to OCC, I said, hey, the way we do things and the way things work to Henniger, so we're not going to change. We're just going to bring the same deal up the hill, and we may run some different plays or play a little different style or whatever, but in the way we treat the players and the way we push them but love them, we just kind of trying to do the same thing. But my background in basketball, and not even the X and O part, but my background in dealing with players and dealing with the kids, I really learned it all in 10th, 11th, and 12th grade from Coach Maz. So that's, if I would push the credit off there, to be honest with you.
The legend.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, actually, he not only did he get you to take over the Henniger situation, but he also talked me into coming back into the PA announcing again, because I let it go for quite a few years, and he talked me into coming over to Henniger and doing that. We didn't even know each other at the time, me and you. And he said, "Come on, I want you to do this. We want to up the level a little bit." And I'm so thankful for it because I'm having so much fun doing it again. So shout out.
Yeah, I was no doubt. I was living and coaching in North Carolina, and there's zero chance in the world I moved back home. And without him, he basically told me, "You're taking the Henniger job. This is done." Like it was. You know how we got, and there was really no choice in the matter. And it's a funny story, but not one for right now.
Right. So how much have you been able to follow this year? What's going on in high school basketball in Section 3?
Live, not as much as normal, to be honest with you. With between our schedule and our games, and then on any time I can get to a high school game. The baby of the family, my youngest, Jackson's a freshman, and he played JD and just got moved up to varsity at JD. I've gone to not every game, but as many JD games as I could because obviously because of Jack. So it hasn't been my normal routine of seeing a lot of the teams and from a recruiting aspect, but obviously I'm following the scores and I'm still tight with a lot of the high school coaches, so talking to people and all that, but with live eyes, not nearly as much as normal.
So I got one last question. Now let's chime in. You've found a way to be a player's coach. Yet hold them to a high standard and hold them accountable. You don't put up with a lot of nonsense, but you're still loved by your players. How do you pull that off?
I don't know if there's a secret to it or whatever, but I just think people talk about kids have changed. I don't know if they have. Kids want to be coached. They want to be better, and they want you to make them better. So secretly down deep, I think they want to be held accountable. But I just think it's in. I think not just me, but our whole staff. And again, I learned this from Maz. You get a lot of leeway with kids to be tough on them if they know you care and how you deal with them. So there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that goes on that I think gives us all the coaches I've worked with, gives us the leeway to be tough on them in the situations that it calls for. But kids want to win, they want to be good, and I think if they they want to be coached, so you got to coach them.
Yeah.
Did you go?
Jeff, you broke up on me.
I said it was a grind for sure.
I'm not getting your audio. I don't know if it's my phone or what's going on, but
did it get back?
Yeah.
Okay, so Eric, in the double A's, we have West Tennessee Henniger, CNS FM, Liverpool Proctor, CBA Baldwinsville. In your opinion, what do you think comes out of the double A's?
I think the double A's is a really tough one. Liverpool is obviously super talented, especially with all their size. I think that's awful tough going to be to beat Liverpool. But on top of that, you have West Jenny that their only losses to Liverpool, I believe. So you have that, but then I just think CBA with Danny Anderson is going to be a really tough out. I mean, it's going to take someone, Liverpool, Jenny, anybody. It's going to take a great game and a great effort, to beat them. I'm not saying they're the favorite. They're the 3 seed for a reason. But I know going against Buddy all those years, he can stretch the last minute 30 of a game into 12 hours, fouls, timeouts, situations. So if you're going to finish CBA off, you gotta do it right. Like, they're going to give her every ounce of what they have. But I think those 3 teams are head and shoulders the favorites. But if I had to pick one, I couldn't.
It is up in there.
What about your guy, Tom Blackford, still getting it done out in Hamilton after all these years? Looking for another Class Section 3 title.
Tom's a great coach. I mean, and he's always done a great job. He did a great job at FM. I'd be lying if I told you I followed the D's at all. So I don't even really know what they have going on or what it is. But I know whatever Blackie's got, he's getting the most out of them. And again, they're going to be well coached right through the end of it. So they're going to be awful tough to beat. And I hear they have an absolute stud. So, and when you have a kid that talented at that level, they're going to be awful tough to beat.
Yeah. So we were talking to Kelly earlier. I didn't realize you guys were both Rockfords, by the way.
Yeah, a long time apart though. Kelly was at Rockford long. I think they built 3 or 4 new buildings and dorms between the time I was there and the time Kelly was there.
Yeah.
That's funny.
But one of the things we were talking about is, it used to be, if kids' grades weren't good enough, then they would go junior college. But I don't think that's the case anymore. We got kids coming to junior college now with good grades, just because it's so much more expensive to go to colleges and universities, and they may not get the same opportunity to play at those places as they would at the college level. And now OCC's got the dorms, they got the SRC Arena, Allen Hall. Would you agree that it's different today than maybe when we were coming out of high school?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, my son James is a great example. I mean, he was a mid to upper 90 student at JD. He's got a 3.9 at OCC, but especially coming out of the year of he got in every 4-year school he applied to, but especially coming out of the year of COVID, when you didn't know if we were going to go to wherever and be locked in your dorm taking online classes. And then if you look at the cost of things, junior college makes a lot more sense. It makes a lot of sense. And so it's been a great year for him, not just basketball wise, but academically. The hardest part in recruiting him was convincing his mother. She was not a real fan of the coach. So, we had to convince her that it was going to be okay. But just from an academic standpoint, it does make a lot of sense. And what we tell kids, you get your 2-year degree from OCC, and then, wherever you go to Syracuse University and get your, you just save probably $150,000. And, when you're applying for a job, you're an SU graduate, even though you were there 2 years instead of 4. So a lot of people are looking at it more along those lines, like you said, with the cost increase and the student loan crisis and all that. So I think junior college makes a lot of sense on a lot of levels.
So what type of player is Eric Strong looking for to come up to OCC?
Well, it takes all kinds. I mean, you need size, you need guards, you need shooting. You got to have a good balance of things, and you got to have a good mix of personalities too. Like if you have a bunch of quiet kids, It's going to be boring, and you don't have a lot of fun with the year. If you got a bunch of, loud, rambunctious kids, you got to have a good mix of things. So that's number one. We want kids to be who they are and be themselves. So I think that's one of the things with this year. We got a great mix. But I think the biggest thing I'm looking for in a player isn't necessarily a skill set, because kids are going to have different skill sets. You're going to have shooters or better passers or guys who handle or guys who can play in the post. But we want kids that want to compete. We want kids that want to get after it and aren't afraid to make a mistake. If you're afraid to make a mistake, you're in the wrong place. We're going to make mistakes, but we can't be afraid. And I think this year's team has been great. We haven't backed off of a challenge for a half a second, and we've lost a couple games, but they weren't losses where it was from lack of anything. Just the ball didn't bounce your way. So I think the biggest thing over my years, Henniger to OCC, is I want guys that want to compete and accept the results. You lose, but if we're going to lose, we're going to lose being able to hold our head high because we came after you.
Yeah. Got to have some dog in you, right?
Yes, sir.
So we got the tournament started postseason for you. You draw Fulton Montgomery Community College tomorrow night at 7 o'clock up at Allen Hall. The one time you played them this year, it was like an NBA shootout, 127 to 100. What do you expect this time around?
That was early November. I think it was our third game of the year, probably, or fourth game of the year. It was super early November. So I think both teams are a lot different, and both teams are better. I don't expect it to be 127 to 100, but both teams want to push the ball. Both teams want to get up the court. Both teams shoot a lot of threes. So I do expect it to be high scoring. But I think we're a lot better defensively than we were at that point, and I think they are too. So, again, we're just looking to compete, and we had a week off, not a week off, but a week between games for the first time in a long time. So I think we were able to get our legs back under us and get healthy. So we've had good practices. I'm hopeful that we play great tomorrow and take care of business.
All right. Once again, 23-2. Great season. In the midst of the postseason. Good luck tomorrow night. We'll be up there. And thank you so much,
the game.
For taking time out of your schedule. I do have the game.
All right. We got the silky smooth voice. We can't lose now.
That's all right. Yeah. So, thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule to be on the show tonight. We really appreciate it.
No problem, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks, Eric.
Anytime.
All right. Take care.
Yep. Take it easy.
All right.
He's funny. He's got the joke.
All right. You got your audio set out there?
Yeah, I think that was his. Did you hear that?
Good audio wise?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I think it was his. I think he had a different. He might have had two things playing at once, like you did that one time when it was echoing.
Oh, okay. All right.
I think that's what it was.
Is Dominic on?
I just told. Yep. Well, actually, I just told him. I just texted him and told him.
Okay.
You want to finish that C or girls class C?
Yeah. So
Actually, Dom's on now. We'll get him now.
Okay, go ahead.
Dom, you hear us, kid?
Yeah, I can hear you.
You still at the dinner?
Huh?
You still at the dinner with the team?
No, we just got done.
All right. What's going on, buddy?
Nothing. We just had a good practice.
The toughest 8th grader in Section 3, arguably. I got people coming at me after that post I made.
Yeah.
My Instagram blew it up. He's a reclassified. He's not supposed to be in 8th grade. I said if people learn the rules, they would do the same thing too.
Back.
So let's go. Let's get right into it. You guys are having a monster season this year.
Yeah, we've been doing good.
What do you think's been the key to success so far this year?
I think the chemistry and stuff, because with a young coach and like obviously a new starter to the team is obviously a big change. So I think we've all been working together really well.
How many seniors you guys got on the team?
Hold up, let me count. 5, I think.
So you guys are not that old. So you guys got the rider coming up, right?
Yeah, tomorrow at 6.
When I said they were gonna get you guys, you messaged me as soon as I put that post out. Did you how do you feel about your other arch enemy getting knocked off last week by the town of Webb yesterday? Did you see this? Did you watch it?
Yeah. I saw the clip of the game winner. Yeah.
Who's
we were playing when that game happened too. So.
Oh, you guys were? I thought you guys were after him. So going into the season, what were your expectations to have much success as you're having right now?
100%. And we got the team to go places, but if we all stay together and keep our heads straight, I think sky's the limit, to be honest. Because we got a great group of guys. We all have one goal. We're gonna do whatever it takes, but if we all stay together and keep our heads straight and focused, we'll be set.
I like it. What do you got, Nick?
What I got is, your lowest point total all season is 15 points. You had a high of, 34 against Sandy Creek. You've been lighting up the basket this year. What is it that tell me a little bit about your game. I've never seen you play in person yet. I look forward to seeing you if you get this next W up at OCC. But tell me a little bit about your game.
I could shoot the ball really well. I could facilitate too. I always find an open man, especially getting downhill and in transition. I find big success off the pick and roll in the half court. I always find an open man. I got a pull up jumper around the free throw line and stuff. But I'm good at shooting too. Like I hit a bunch of threes and stuff.
Okay. Yeah, I looked at it. So you guys only lost 3 times all year, right? You lost to Harrisville and then twice to Harbor Sackets, right?
Mm-hmm.
And never played. You didn't play DeRuyter this year, did you?
No, not yet.
So this will be your first matchup with them. And have you played against Gavin before?
I don't think so. No, I haven't.
Okay, so we got a good matchup between you and Gavin Richardson, 2 high scorers in the next round.
Yeah.
What do you know about DeRuyter, and what do you guys plan to do tomorrow night?
We know they have a lot of trust in all their players. We've seen that before. Like they trust 1 through 5 no matter what the situation is. So I think we need to play team defense, especially around Gavin, obviously, because he's averaging like 30 a game. And the game plan is pretty much just to keep him, keep him out the game pretty much, and just like play together, rebound the ball too, because they got some size and some hustlers.
So that's a home game for you guys because you guys are the higher seed. Tell me what kind of what's it like to play a home game at Belleville Henderson? Do you get a good crowd there? Is it loud?
Yeah, the community's awesome. We always fill the gym no matter what, pretty much. The crowd's always loud. They're very supportive for us.
The small town love, you can't beat it, man. I don't really imagine what it's like. I see Sackett's Harbors. We shouted out Tom Spencer last week with all the pictures. I can only imagine what their small gyms are like.
Yeah, especially JCC. That Frontier League Championship game was crazy.
I know. That's an old school gym in there too. I played there the last 2 years. Let's talk about your AAU circuit. I'm a City Rocks guy. You're a City Rocks guy. How those first 3 sessions go? Because you got your name out there for sure. I seen on the May 2 page.
Yeah, we've been doing our thing at May this year. City Rocks is a great program. We've been going strong this year, definitely, with Payday and all the guards and all them. We've been amazing. Shout out to Aau, always keeping his trust in me, especially from last year. The development he said and all that was just crazy. Corey and all them, Coach McCulley.
Yeah, them a good
pretty much all the City Rocks coaches just always trusting in me to keep me around,
You stayed in the gym over the summer.
Yeah.
A whole lot. What did you besides shooting? What else did you feel you had to work on coming into the season?
Being comfortable with the ball, because obviously I'm not tall. I'm a 5'10" guard, so I got to keep the ball in my hands and be a point guard and facilitate. So I had to work through situations like that and learn how to become a true point guard.
You bring the ball up mostly.
Yeah.
Lobo? Who's your second leading scorer?
It's either Jake Fargo or Kyle Moyer.
And then those guys, how are those guys energy kids, or they just putbacks and slashers?
Yeah. Jake can shoot the rock like crazy, and Kyle can facilitate. He gets to the rack. He gets the free throw line a lot, and he's like the finisher. He's like the slasher. Nights where we're rolling though, he gets his three ball going, and we're all clicking at those type of nights.
And the 2 losses to Sackets, was it more just errors down the stretch, or was they came out the gate and got you guys?
I think the first game was just down the stretch. We taking care of the ball was our issue, and then the second game at JCC, our shots weren't falling, to be honest. And we also
tell me about Coach Vasily. What kind of coach is he? What does he expect out of you guys?
He's young, so he's new to all this stuff, but I think he's been doing pretty solid this year. He's been working us pretty hard too in practice, so we know what to expect from him. So it's been, I don't know. For him being that young and being that new, I think he's done a really good job so far this year.
You expecting a full house at the gym tomorrow night?
Yeah, just like the other night. There'll be a lot of people there.
Yeah, it's got to be so much fun to have fans back in the gym and not playing in front of nobody and all that, right?
Yeah, last year was horrible. I hated that.
Yeah.
Where we got again last year?
Feed off that as a player.
What do you say, Jeff?
Where were you at last year?
Was that
I don't know. Did you know that, Nick? Did I tell you that?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was at Sackers last year, and he transferred this year. This year he transferred.
Okay. All right. Do you feed off the crowd once you got it going and the crowd gets loud?
Yeah, I love it. Especially like when they're chanting stuff.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
You get the overrated chants. I just got to bring it up because it's so funny. It's just all like these kids just talk junk all day. And Nick, it's always for Nick. You don't got Instagram, but on Twitter, on Instagram, you should see what they comment on my post on Instagram, Nick. Like especially like JD's got kids, CNS got your little student section pages. They go back and forth. They just talk junk to each other, and I can't even delete it because as soon as I delete it, someone else comments something new. But man, you know I like your game. Shout out to your mom. Your mom's really involved with your basketball stuff. She's one of the more great basketball parents, and she's locked into City Rocks, which is good too.
Yeah.
Did whose choice was it to transfer schools? Was it yours or hers?
It was a family decision, to be honest. We thought it was the best fit, and just like it was just the right place to go, to be honest.
How far apart are those two schools?
Like 20, 15 minutes.
Oh, so they're right by each other. Man. Well, we're gonna be watching you. I got a game tomorrow night. I wish I didn't. Nick's got one too, but we probably will. Well, we might see you this weekend, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you win tomorrow night, I'll have you in the semifinals up at OCC. I'll be PA announcer for your game. So I look forward to seeing you and your team compete. But first, you got to get it done tomorrow night. So get a good night's rest and be ready to play tomorrow night.
All right.
I'll text you, man. Appreciate you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Got you. I'll talk to you later.
Thanks for coming on CNY Hoop Talking to 315.
Appreciate it.
Stay safe, kid.
Dominic Sprague, Belleville Henderson.
Yeah, I know he hears it from transferring from a 15-minute school across the town to another arch rivalry.
Yeah, yeah.
Imagine him and Tyler Green together again for this year.
Yeah, right. So one of the things I wanted to mention before we sign off too is we had a new addition to the 1,000-point club since the last time we met. Alex Mosch from Chittenango. He joined the 1,000-point club. So congratulations to Alex.
And then we got APW
And also
on the girls' side.
Huh?
On the girls' side, APW is Jordan Ostrander from APW up north. I believe she's the first one in a long, long time up there.
All right. Congratulations to Jordan. And to go along with the good karma from CNY Hoop Talk and a 315, since the last time we had our show, Charles Pride went over 1,000 points for Bryant University, the Bulldogs. So congratulations to Charles going over 1,000 points, and he still has a year left after this year. So congratulations to Charles Pride.
And then you want to finish going over these games before we get out?
Yeah. So where did we leave off on the girls D or?
Yeah, the girls C.
Girls C. Yeah. Well, the girls C, we pretty much are in agreement that we think Waterville and either Thousand Islands or West Canada Valley are going to be in the championship, but we'll have to see if that comes true. Yeah. In D, Hamilton High School is having a good year both on the boys and the girls side.
I'm curious to see if they both make it.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. So you got Copenhagen and New York Mills, Hamilton, Belleville, Henderson, Poland, Oriskany, Brookfield, Watertown. So I think Poland is the favorite there, but or maybe actually Copenhagen is the favorite, right?
For me, and then I got Copenhagen versus Brookfield. You got Hamilton versus Poland, and then you got Poland winning for Class D girls. I want to say that that's Watertown, IHC, and Sackett's Harbor got postponed or canceled, and Watertown is
Watertown won by forfeit.
That's what it was.
Yeah, Watertown won by forfeit, and I'm not sure why, but they did win by forfeit.
I seen the scores. I didn't know what it was. All right, so that's it for the girls side, and then just to go over those upsets again, the girls upsets, we had Central Valley Academy over Highland Patton, 34-28. Bishop Grimes over Homer and OT, 47-44. Marcellus over South Jeff. Then Dodgeville over Beaver River, 57-53. Frankfurt Schuyler over Sandy Creek, 50-47. And then Oriskany over Stockbridge Valley, 40-35 for the girls' upsets. And then let's go to the boys, Nick.
Yeah, so there was a big upset on the boys' side. What game was that?
What was it? We got Beeville. It was the Town of Webb over Sackett's Harbor, Tyler Green and them. 55.
Yeah.
In the last second buzzer beater. And
so Town of Webb, they're really Old Forge, right?
Yeah, it's Old Forge. This Town of Webb is just what they're on paper. They're the Town of Webb.
So they beat Sackett's Harbor. That was a big win for them.
Tyler Green and them. I think they had only won 6 games this year too.
And did you see my guy Evan Dortis got a win with MPH?
That's what they have too. They got they're coming there actually.
Yeah, MPH beat Copenhagen. That was a little bit of an upset.
And then the other upset for the boys. We got Marcellus over Little Falls. Beeville over Rome Free. Rome Free was rolling. Oneida Boys over South Jefferson. Weedsport and a nail biter by a 1 over Westmoreland. And then we got McGraw. The crazy part is it was the same score as the Town of Webb and Sackett Harbor. McGraw won 55 over Lafargeville, 54. And then Manlius Pebble Hill over Copenhagen, 51-44.
Yeah.
For the boys. And that'll bring the I think AA, we got everything right in AA again too.
Yeah, I mean, I think we pretty much knew that it was going to come down to. I'll tell you, I still West Jenny's going to have Henniger will give West Jenny a good game.
Mm-hmm.
I believe West Jenny will come away the victor, but Henniger will play him tough. The game I'm intrigued by is CNS and FM. That's going to be a really good game. I think CNS wins that game, but I'm not. That's going to be a really tough game.
And
what are your thoughts about that one?
I'm just trying to think the last time we played it, because the last time we played it, we had them both on at the same night, didn't we? Were Trevor and we had Tyler and Luke Paragon at the same night, but then I believe that game was close last time that they played.
Yeah, I want to say CNS won, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, it wasn't by a lot. I'm with CNS.
Yeah, it was a close game, and I expect another close game. That's going to be, I think that's going to be the game, the most competitive game on the AA level. I think Henniger will play West Jenny tough. I don't expect Proctor to give Liverpool too much of a game. And I don't know, CBA Beeville. CBA should win that game. Beeville surprised me by beating RFA, but I still think CBA should win that game. And then I think it's going to come down to what we thought. You're looking at Liverpool, CBA in the semis or in the next round, and then probably West Jenny I can't. It's hard to call the CNS FM game.
I know those games are going to be fun. They are going to be fun for AA, and then what do we got for A? We got Auburn beat ESN. Watertown got Carthage 58-52. Grimes got Central Square. SAS beat Cortland by 27. Shout out to Cornelius Vines and SAS. JD got Oswego, and then Whitesboro beat Camden 46-36. So Auburn goes to New Hartford.
I still think it's Jake. Yeah, I still think it's Jake Philip Koski's division to lose. I think they're the favorites, and I think I think Auburn will give them. I think Auburn will play him pretty tough, but I think New Hartford wins that, and I think it's going to be a really good game between New Hartford and Bishop Grimes. I think in the next round.
And then just sitting here looking at Fulton at 15-4 and SAS. I just know the athletes that SAS have, but I think Fulton has built that team up off of discipline and chemistry because they've been together for youngins. And then JD and Whitesboro.
Fulton's been playing well. Fulton's been playing well all year long, and like you said, SAS is a scary team to play in the postseason because depending on which team shows up, they could beat anybody on a given night and they can lose to anybody on a given night. So
got to stay together.
That's always a scary team.
And then Watertown and Grimes isn't going to be no pushover either because remember Watertown knocked off the 36 win in a row, Lowville too, but that was their class. But
and Bishop Grimes is gonna have to go up to Watertown, so that's never an easy thing. You got their officials up there, and then Watertown's a tough place to play.
Yeah, they show up for those games, but A's kind of A's up in the air too, and then we'll go to the massacre in Class B. Salve.
Yeah, I still think Chittenango's the team to beat. Lowville's. How about was it Dalton Myers that had 38 for Lowville?
Yep. They are just. That's up. I
38. Yeah, 38 from Dalton Myers, and then Brody Brown had a great game too. He had like 19, but Lowville's playing really good. Braden Shepherdson from West Canada Valley at 26.
He can shoot the three too, and he's shifty with the handle. I don't blame B's in the middle because then you got to go. You got Utica Academy of Science on the bottom, and VVS. I've been hearing good things about VVS too. I just haven't seen them, but Utica Academy of Science. I know they have some athletes and shooters up there too. So B is going to be
So that's one of the upsets too, right? I mean, VVS beat a pretty good Phoenix team. That was 11 over a 6, right?
Yeah. Yep. And then Central Valley made a statement too over Oneida. So West Hill and Central Valley is going to be a good one too. That's a 4-5 game.
Marcellus continues to roll.
Boys and girls too, isn't that funny? But Lowville, Lowville is tough, and they got to go up there too. So those fans, that's the Red Sea. That's the Red Sea up there. But everyone keeps saying that Utica Academy of Science is going to get Lowville and that semis, which is going to be a fun game to see because I know that should be at OCC too, right?
Yep.
So that's B. I mean so that's B, and then C we got the teams that we thought we were going to be. We got Tully, Weedsport, Dodgeville, West Canada Valley, Waterville.
Yeah, I think Mount Markham.
Yeah, Mount Markham. I think it's going to come down to West Canada and Tully, and then West Canada coming out on top. I think you might have said the same thing too. Yeah.
So are you going to have any time to make it up to OCC this weekend?
Yeah, I lost on a buzzer. We lost on a buzzer beater yesterday too, so we're out of that was for the 4th spot in our conference playoffs. So I'll be there.
Okay.
Christian Rossi from West Tennessee hit 2 free throws to tie the game with 6.5 seconds left.
Okay.
They get the ball out of bounds under their basket to come down. The kid hits a floater in the lane over our 6'7" center and 6'4" forward for the game.
Christian Rossi played for Cerrone at OCC as well.
Yep, they can't. They still got 3 years with us, but yeah, we're out of it. Last game's tomorrow. We play Broome Community College at OCC or at the Dome actually. So I'll definitely be at OCC if you got room at the table.
Yeah, I got the 2 postseason playoff games at OCC tomorrow night with the OCC women at 5 and the OCC men at 7. And then I'll be up at OCC in the SRC arena all weekend long, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So
what's up with Des Moines? I forgot to ask you. They just wait.
Yeah, the women play this weekend. I can't remember if it's Saturday or Sunday. And the men do as well, but they're on the road. So
the seating already came out for those brackets?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So Class D, we'll talk about the Rider, Bellevue, Henderson, and then Mania's Pebble Hill is there too, and then Cincinnati, Madison. But you got
and it's still Hamilton's bracket to lose. I mean, I think they're the clear favorite.
But now the bottom part of that bracket's up in the air too. I wonder if it'll be Cincinnati, Madison, Town of Webb, or MPH. Because you're gonna have Hamilton's gonna run into the winner of the Rider and Bellevue Henderson, which will be a good game too. But that'll be OCC too, actually. So yeah, it's gonna be fun up there. And geez, it's gonna be a lot of games.
Well, the Rider Belleville Henderson will be at Belleville tomorrow night, and then the winner of that game comes OCC. So yeah,
that'll be fun. That's gonna be a packed day starting at 11 a.m.
I'll be up there all weekend long.
What else? We got anything else to go over?
No, that's it.
Scores, the upsets.
Good show.
So we'll check back in later this weekend.
Yeah, once again, thanks to Kelly Grinnell's site, this year's Mid-State Athletic Conference Coach of the Year at Onondaga Community College, and also head coach Eric Cerrone. Also, this year's Coach of the Year from the Mid-State Athletic Conference from Onondaga Community College men's program, and our guy Dominic Sprague from Belleville Henderson, the 8th grader, lighting it up for them. Big game tomorrow night against Gavin Richardson and DeRider. So look forward to a good week of basketball.
Yeah, it's going to be fun this week too. The girls' side's loaded too. But yeah, I'll check back in with you.
Okay. Yeah, come and see me this week.
Yeah, well, I'll text you too.
Okay.
All right. I'll talk to you later.
All right, Jeff.
All right.
Take care.
You too.